Hello and welcome to No Sevens Dice Club College Football Picks Week 12. I just want to welcome everybody to the channel. If this is your first time checking out this channel, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. For all my previous people who've been watching me over the weeks, welcome back. I hope you guys had a successful week 11 college football picks on your sports betting. We did really well with our sports picks. We had 3 wins and 1 loss. I'll bring this into the field of play for you guys. Let's see if I can see that on the camera. All right. All right. So, is that better? All right. Yeah, we can see the board. Okay. I had to bring down my board and readjust some stuff, so I'm still trying to get my camera all set back up. So I had to readjust some stuff on the board and try to take care of the craps table. So I'm just getting everything all set back up originally. But anyway, last week we won 3 wins, 1 loss. Our dark horse covered. We don't count the dark horse in our week, but we did go 3-1. And our dark horse did cover, which was that was the Kansas State versus Texas game. Kansas State lost, but we did cover on our spread, so that was really good. And so we won that. So I think right now we're 2-5 on our dark horse picks. That's the reason why they're called dark horse picks, because we really don't do too well on the dark horses because we're rooting for the underdog. But so I went ahead, I made 2 picks this game, and then I answered some emails on the Clemson and Auburn games. So I'm doing the first 2. The last 2 are the Clemson Auburn game are by some of my subscribers who went ahead and was asking questions. So we're going to cover those games also. And speaking of emails, to all the Alabama fans out there, I received over 35 emails of hate mail saying, how could I pick LSU over Alabama, since LSU has never won any game against Alabama since 2011. I had people unsubscribe from me. I've had people call me all sorts of names. People tell me that I need to go get checked into the loony bin and everything else. For all those people, if you're tuning into week 12, I told you so. In fact, I bet really big on LSU this past week. I bet $200, so I cleaned up pretty nicely. And for all those who picked Alabama, I'm sorry. You should have listened to No Sevens. But we're not going to talk about spilled milk or anything else. It just feels kind of good that LSU silenced all the critics that was coming from No Sevens. A ton of hate mail that came from Alabama fans. Anyway, moving on to week 12, because you guys are not here about week 11. So let's go ahead and talk about week 12. So let's go ahead and start off with the bully picks. The bully picks, I'm going to go with Bama, Florida, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, Utah, and Oregon. Now the bully picks, for all the first timers, that's one where we're just going to do a separate parlay for money line picks. We're not going to do anything else with them. We're just going to do a money line picks. It's not going to pay that much. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bully picks, all those names that you're looking at right there, and then we're going to add one of these teams to it. So we're going to do a parlay for the Bama, Florida, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, Utah, and Oregon, and then we're going to take one of these teams and bring it over to here. So whether you like Alabama, LSU, Wake Forest, Georgia, or there's another team that you like that you think is going to win, you're going to take them over here and you're going to do a spread with them. So if it's Georgia -3, you're going to bring Georgia -3 over here, and you're going to do a parlay for all of them. Because it's not going to pay that much. It's probably going to pay you $4 or $5. It's probably just going to double your money, whatever you pick. So bring over one of these picks or whatever team you like and put it on here with the parlay. So that way you can cash in a little bit more money. Or you can bring 2 over here and cash in. What I did last week, I took the Georgia and I took Florida, and both of them shut out the other 2 teams. And that was the two teams I carried over when I did LSU versus Alabama. I took Georgia and I took Florida as money line picks. I should have just took them as a spread too, but I did them as money line picks, and I put that on top of LSU. I had $50 plus the Georgia and everything else, and afterwards it paid out $150. So instead of because that was a 3-team parlay, 2 of them were money line, 1 of them was the LSU spread. So it paid out a little bit more. Instead of you making $100, you know, there was a little bit more icing on the cake, and we were able to cash in for $150. All right, so week 12, here we go. That's how I was trying to explain the bully picks for you. As you can see, our record is 18 wins, 6 losses. Doing really well this season, guys. Doing really well. All right, so the week 12, we're going to do Bama minus 27 at Mississippi State. Alabama was embarrassed on national TV. Nick Saban is not happy. Neither is Tua or the rest of the group. Mississippi State does have a good defense, but it's not the defense like it was last year. They're struggling. I don't even know if Mississippi State's even going to make it into a bowl game this year. It's questionable. They got to start winning some games at the end of the season. So with Alabama being minus 21 right now, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take Alabama minus 21. So I'm going to mark that down. Bama 21. So all those Bama fans that hated me last week, saying I was crazy and everything else, well, this is me showing you that I do not have any bias whatsoever when it comes to sports betting. I am taking you guys minus 21. So look at that. I'm taking Bama minus 21. Next game on the board is LSU at Ole Miss. LSU did a phenomenal job last week against Alabama. Broke that eight-year winning streak against them, or losing streak against Alabama, however you want to look at it. They came out and they really dominated the first half of that game. It really showed you how great that offense can be. Alabama, a heck of a team. They came back. They made some changes in the second half. Took LSU to the wire. Some really bad plays on the secondary for LSU that game. I think it could have gone either way. I'm not going to dissect that game. I know everybody pretty much watched it. But they're playing Ole Miss. This game is going to be a lot closer than what people are thinking because Ole Miss has got a very good dynamic offense. Their defense is terrible, but their offense is really good. I would say if you really want to do your research on this game, look at the Ole Miss-Alabama game. I think it's going to be just like that game. I think LSU is going to come in there. I think LSU is going to win this game, but it's going to be really close to that 21-point spread. I think LSU is going to win this probably by, I would say, probably about 24 points. If I had to take a guess, 24 to 27 points. It might even be a push. It might even be 21 points because Ole Miss is going to at least score a touchdown or 2. And now will LSU rise to the dominance of like they were playing on weaker teams and get past a 40, 50 point spread like they used to, 40 points a game, 50 points a game like they were averaging? I think they will against Ole Miss because Ole Miss doesn't have that defense. LSU is coming up pretty banged up, though, out of that Alabama game. But I do think LSU is going to take care of business. And so we're going to take LSU minus 21. So I'm going to mark that on the board. LSU minus 21. And also, LSU has covered every single spread this year except for one. They've only did not cover one spread at all this year so far. They covered every single one except for one this season. All right, the next game. This is one of my emails that I got from one of my clients. They were saying that they're getting no love from the college committee group, and they're ranked number 5. And I wrote back, I said, don't worry about it. LSU, Alabama's got to play. Penn State, Ohio State's got to play. Penn State lost last week. The curse of the number 5 team of the AP poll. So whoever you bet on, if it's the number 5 team for the AP poll, don't bet on that team. And I guarantee you, it might be Georgia, who's ranked number 5 as the AP poll. So be very careful of this next pick, which I'm going to dive into next. So Clemson's going to move up. Clemson probably moved to number 3 in this pick. I would not be surprised to see Clemson moved up to number 3 come Tuesday. They're playing Wake Forest. Wake Forest is playing Clemson at Clemson. 32 points is a lot. Wake Forest has got a pretty good offense and a pretty good defense. I see this game being a little bit closer than what Las Vegas is predicting it with minus 32. I think Wake Forest, this is going to be a closer game like it was with, not North Carolina State. North Carolina State was horrible, but North Carolina with Mac Brown. I see this game being almost similar to this, but not quite. Clemson's really trying to, show the committee that they belong in the top 4. So they're going to come out. They're going to be guns blazing. But I really do that Wake Forest is going to cover the spread, and so I'm going to take Wake Forest plus 32 because I think Clemson's going to definitely win this game. I think Clemson's going to win it by like 40 points. I wouldn't be surprised 45, 48. Clemson's not a team to really drive up the score in a football game. So I see Wake Forest coming back maybe in the second half, really start pushing Clemson, getting at least 2 or 3 touchdowns in this game in the second half when Clemson has their second and third string in. So I think Wake Forest is going to come in the third and fourth quarter, and they're going to come in and they're going to score some points to cover the 32. I mean, to add to the 32 points that they're given. I'm saying it backwards, guys. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take Wake Forest plus 32. This week was a really challenging week to make picks because there was not a lot of easy teams like we normally go after dominant teams, ones that we know that are going to be slam dunk winners. So this one might be a little bit of an off week. We might break even on this. Who knows? We'll see. All right, moving on. Georgia minus 3 at Auburn. Georgia is minus 3 going into Auburn. Auburn's got one heck of a defense. Their defense is 10 times better than Florida's defense. You have 2 first-round picks with Brown, and I can't think of the other guy. I think Brown's number 5, and the other guy is number 3 on the defensive line for Auburn. 2 first-round picks. I wouldn't even be surprised if they both go in the top 10 of the draft. That's how good Auburn's defensive line is. Of course, you have Chase Young, who's probably going to be the overall pick from Ohio State. But I would not be surprised to see Brown probably go second or third after that as for Auburn. Okay, moving on. I think Georgia's probably going to be ranked number 5 in this. So it's that death curse of being number 5 in the AP poll. Not number 5 in the college football committee's eyes, but number 5 in the AP poll seems to be the death curse of everything so far. Georgia has got a really good offense running the ball. Auburn's got one of the best defenses stopping the run. They're better at stopping the run than Florida is. This game is going to be very close. Georgia's going to have to rely on Jake Fromm to start throwing the ball more and start throwing the ball more downfield like he was doing against Florida. This game is going to be a very close game. That's the reason why Las Vegas is doing minus 3. This game can go either which way. Hold on one second. I'm going to read this email real quick. It says, Dear No Sevens, big Georgia dog fan here. Thank you for all your advice. Made lots of money this season with you. What are your thoughts on the Georgia-Auburn game? And let's see. I'll pretty much cover everything he was saying. Who do I pick in this game? This is really a coin flip. I mean, this is pretty much where you can take it and you can flip a coin on who's going to win this game. I think Georgia's going to win this game. Because they're trying to keep Florida from the SEC championship game for the SEC East because they won outright. I think Georgia's going to come out. They're going to come out playing. They're going to come out playing hard. So is Auburn. But Georgia has more to lose than Auburn. So I am going to take Georgia minus 3. But this could be a flip the coin either way. But Georgia has more to lose in this game than Auburn does. So I'm going to take Georgia -3 at Auburn. And I'm probably going to receive some emails about this too, but hey, you know, I'm just going by reason and logic. You know, this is all depends on what goes on in the trenches on Saturdays. So, last pick of the week. As you can see on the board, there is a dark horse team, and you're probably scratching your head looking at it like, what in the heck? You have Ohio State -52 at Rutgers. Yes, that is correct. Ohio State -52 is what opened up. I think this has to be the highest point spread ever by Las Vegas. There might be one higher. I don't know. We'll have to do our research and see. But when I saw 52, I almost fell over. So Rutgers and Ohio State won their last game last week to 70 points. So I'm going to do something that's completely crazy, and I know I'm going to receive a ton of emails about it, probably a ton of comments too. But we're going to, for this dark horse, I think Rutgers is going to score some points in the back end of this game. They're not going to score anything in the first 3 quarters, but when Ohio State puts in its 12-string water boys and towel boys to mop up the rest of the game, I think that's when Rutgers is going to make a little bit of a splash. They're probably going to score probably about 7 to 10 points, maybe 14 points. So I'm going to take Rutgers and my dark horse +53. I know what you guys are saying. No Sevens has lost his mind once again. But 52 points is a lot to cover. I know Ohio State's winning by 70 points each game pretty much. But Rutgers, I feel like, is going to do pretty well in this game in the fourth quarter. I'm already getting choked up about it. So, all right. If you guys are still with me, hopefully you are, I am going to do I'm fixing something real quick. Hold on one second. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to do something for you guys to have a little bit of fun. If you guys are still with me, you guys can learn about it. If not, you guys will not know about it until a week from now when I release the video. But for all my subscribers, you have to be a subscriber to No Sevens. All right, there we go. I wanted to do that in green so that way you guys could see it. So that way it's not a minus, it's a +32 on Wake Forest. So, if you're still with me, you can see in the right-hand corner, there's an Amazon $50 gift card. So for the $50 gift card, the way you're gonna earn that is you have to be a subscriber to No Sevens Dice Club, and you have to. We're gonna do the college football bowl picks. We're not gonna do point spreads. We're not gonna do algorithms. We're not gonna do anything else. This is straight up football betting. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have another email account. You're gonna send in. You have to be a subscriber. You're going to send me in all your college football picks for the bowl games. So if it's say like it is like Alabama versus Mississippi State, you have to tell me. You have to write it all down in an email. So you're going to have to do some work on this. You're not just going to be given $50. You're going to have to do some typing with your fingers. So you're going to have to write down Alabama at Mississippi State, and then you're going to have to pick your person, and then you're going to take LSU at Ole Miss, and then you're gonna put LSU. This is for bowl games. This isn't for this week. This is for the college bowl games that's going to be released in the middle of December. So you're gonna have to pick all the bowl games, and then you're gonna have to pick who's going to be the champion out of the top 4, and who's going to be playing in the championship in New Orleans. And whoever wins the most bowl games, you're going to have to email me. If you won like 10 or less, I'm going to break it all down more next week when I come out the video. But if you won, if you feel like you've done pretty well, I would check it back to the email that you're going to have to send me another email, and then I'm going to fact check it to the one that you sent me back in December after the end of the championship game. And then if you are the closest winner, you'll win a $50 gift card. I'm going to come out with more details next week, But one of the requirements is you have to be a No Sevens subscriber. That's the only thing you have to do. And then you just have to write down when the bowl games are released, you just have to write down which teams, you have to write down the team, the two teams that are playing, who you want to win in that team, and then go from there. All, whatever it is, 36 bowl games I think it is right now. And send me that email. That email will be time-stamped and locked into my account. And then if you feel like you're the winner, if you feel like you had a pretty good shot, if you only lost like 3 or 4 games, send me back that email. I'll fact check it with your other email that you sent me. And we'll take a look. And if you're the winner, you won $50 gift card. That's it. Pretty simple. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the only thing I really wanted to say. I'm hoping for another great week this week. It might be kind of flip-flopped. I might break even. I'm not quite sure, but if you're still with me, thank you for tuning in. I wish you guys all the success this week on week 12. 2 more weeks of college football, and then that's it. Then we're into championship game week. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys later come week 13, and we'll see how we did on week 12's picks. But you guys have a great rest of your Sunday and a great week ahead. Bye.